Hello, welcome back to the Small Loft Workshop. In my last video I unboxed this 18 volt Evolution mitre saw, 18 volt dust extractor and stand. I continue to familiarise myself with it and I will bring you an update later in the year on how I think I can improve this setup specifically aimed at a small workshop. But for now I have a small project and I think this small vacuum cleaner will come in really useful. I need to dissect our family dining room table. This is really heavy and I need the help of my beautiful assistant. There are a couple of reasons why I'm dissecting this table. One is to repair a faulty joint within the tabletop, and the other one I will keep you in suspense until the end of the video. And I will be using two of my Festool tools, but to extract the two tools I will be using the Evolution vacuum cleaner. There must be a power tool convention every year where opposing brands get together and discuss how they can frustrate woodworkers by making their brands not fit anyone else's brands. But like the ground crew on Apollo 13, I've worked out a way to make one tool fit another tool with the gadgets I already have in the workshop, and in this case it's a small length of compressible foam tape. I find usually one revolution of the nozzle of the vacuum cleaner with the foam tape will make it fit almost any other port of an opposing tool. Here the Evolution nozzle fits the dust port of the Festool track saw perfectly. And because I've got a good seal against the tool, this little Evolution dust extractor is doing a great job of sucking up all the dust from the saw. Okay, so whilst I've been talking about dust extraction ports and foam tape, I've managed to cut a fair chunk off the top of my kitchen table. And because it was a really hard, unspecified species of timber, I had to take the cuts in 10mm increments. The Festool Domino is the ideal tool to help me stick this table back together. And if you believe Jason Hibbs at Bourbon Moth's latest video, then most of you are hating me right now for getting this tool out of the box. For the first time since buying this tool last summer, I'm using the largest 10mm cutter with the largest domino that this machine can insert. Now the Evolution hose will not fit the tiny dust port on the domino. However, with the help of the tape, I can join the two hoses together to give me a really snug fit, and thus good extraction. As I stated earlier, I do not know which species of timber this table is made out of. I am thinking it could be rubber wood or even banana wood. If you recognise it, please let me know because I'm genuinely intrigued. Whatever the species, it is very, very hard, and here the domino is actually struggling to cut into it. Maybe my woodwork is not as good as Jason's at Bourbon Moth's Woodworking, but maybe I can rival his hip thrusting technique. If you do not know what I'm talking about and you think I've gone slightly mad, then I'll link the video in the top right corner here so you can go and take a look. So once the domino pockets was cut and vacuumed out on the tabletop, I just repeated the process on the piece I cut off. Strip, the compressible foam strip that I've fitted to the nozzle of the vacuum cleaner will squeeze flat enough to allow the accessories that came with the vacuum cleaner still to fit. Now everything that this little vacuum cleaner is doing within this video was done with only a 50% charge to the batteries, and I have to say, for such a small unit, I am impressed with its capabilities. It's handled the dust from the saw and the domino really well, even though it's really fine hardwood dust. And with the cutting you've seen in this video so far, I have filled the little cat carrying case type box about a third full. So far on this project it's earning its stripes, and it means I do not need to lift my heavier, larger extractor from the loft workshop. Like my larger extractor, to clear the filter, it's just a case of removing it from the body of the extractor and giving it a little bit of a whack around the inside of the dustbin. And within 1 minute I've emptied the hopper, cleaned the filter, and I'm back to cutting. With the tabletop finish, let's connect the extractor back to the track saw and cut one of the 4 legs off the table. Long before I made my outdoor workbench, I made this little tiny bench that was on top of a fence support post. This table leg must weigh around 50 kilos, and I was unsure whether this little bench would still take the weight of this table. But sure enough, and with the aid of a garden chair to help me control the fall of the leg once I cut it free, it worked perfectly. Now, because I cut the leg off as close to the table as I could with the track saw, I had a little stub which I could not use to reference the domino cut from. So I clamped this piece of 2x3 to the table and referenced from that instead. I used the same technique on the leg I'd removed from the table. Okay, so why am I cutting a perfectly good dining table into pieces? Well, it's because my beautiful assistant has decided this table needs to go to workshop 2, and it's the only way I can get the thing in the car. So in a few weeks' time you will be seeing me hopefully not struggling to glue this back together. And just to dispel a myth that joiners do not like to clean up after themselves, I clean my work area down, and the portability of this small vacuum cleaner makes it easier to do so. If you fancy owning one of these vacuum cleaners, then the link and a discount code is in the description below. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next video.